Welcome to the Multipeak Marketing Podcast. Brace yourself, because we're bringing you top-level value, revealing powerful insights, and speaking to top individuals in the orthodontic industry. Let's start elevating your marketing knowledge with your host, Tyler Terrell.
Welcome, everyone, to the Multipeak Marketing Podcast. I am here with the one and the only Janelle Baum. She works at Askler Orthodontics, is an all-star TC. And so we're super excited to have her on the podcast. She's also a dear friend of mine. And so, yeah, let's just hop right into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Janelle.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on this. I'm really looking forward to it. This is a little different than what I've done in the past. So this is my first podcast. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a treatment coordinator in Buffalo, New York with Askler Orthodontics. I have been here. I'm in my 7th year, which is fabulous. And I've learned a whole ton. I started off as a fill-in receptionist. I was like a part-time stay-at-home mom filling in for someone who was going to be on maternity leave. And then look at me almost 7 years later. I moved up to this position, not having a clue what to do, how to present fees, and how to talk about all sorts of orthodontic appliances. So I went to YouTube University and I just learned how these appliances work. Dr. Obb spent a lot of time with me, educating me. I spent a lot of time in the clinic learning this stuff. So if there's any new treatment coordinators out there and you're uncomfortable on how to present fees and learn about these things, just continue to educate yourself, go to conferences, listen to podcasts, watch webinars, and you'll learn a lot. A lot of it, comes natural. I used to teach improv acting classes. So as a TC, you know what it's like when you get a tough parent or a tough child. You got to turn on those improv skills. So a lot of it I learned from there. And I also went to clown college. So I add a lot of that entertainment purposes into all of my consults.
Awesome. That is super, super cool. So I know beforehand we talked a lot about the different strengths and everything you have. Obviously, you got a ton of them. But one of the big things I saw that you have a 95% conversion rate. So let's talk about that, because that's pretty big.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say out of all of my superpowers, the one that I enjoy and love and appreciate the most is building relationships. And it's not just building relationships with the patients and their parents. It's with your team members. It's with your doc. It's even with vendors or companies like yourself. I'm constantly trying to, work with like-minded people and forward-thinking people, and all of that education and things I learned from networking myself and meeting with vendors and companies like yourself brings me all of that value into this consult room, which then strengthens the relationship with the patients and their parents. And they fall in love with our office at that first new patient phone call, even because the admin team does an awesome job creating that relationship, but also in here and just reaching the patients at a different level than they're used to at most consults. We don't just call the patient in, bring them back and do the records. It's a whole experience. And I think that's where I really thrive.
Right. And I know a lot of it, a lot of you might have seen Janelle at conferences, dancing on the stage. So that's one of like personality really shines when it comes to like anything like that. So like just looking at your personality and everything, you can kind of see like exactly why I feel like a lot of patients would be drawn to you and everything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And with social media, like that's the language most of the teenagers talk in here. You know, a lot of times I'll get a 13-year-old boy who's nervous of being here, or he's awkward and doesn't care to socialize with someone, and he's sitting, I'm in the TC room right now, but he's usually sitting in the chair, face towards his lap or on the cell phone. But as soon as I start talking social media, it's gone. We then create that relationship. We'll make TikToks. I'll ask, our patients certain things about TikTok or Snapchat, just features and things like that. And right away that starts to build and strengthen that relationship, because now I'm talking their language, which is super important. The parents are usually sitting back in that corner chair and they're just wild that I was able to get their 13-year-old boy to talk. So a lot of that is what helps build that relationship back here as well.
Super awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about social media, because I know you guys are active on social media. So, just from the looks of it, you guys on your posting and everything been doing an amazing job. So, what kind of key factors have you seen in a success, as in like a post or a video or something that's going to grab attention, like giveaways? Like, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, great question. So this is something that I really want everyone to take home, and that's get your office a company cell phone. Of course, all of us team members have cell phones, but do all of us team members want pictures of our patients and videos of them on our camera roll? Probably not, but we are allowed to keep our cell phones on us. It's part of the requirement here. So if we capture a good moment or something good for a TikTok or training, we are able to whip out our cell phones and do that. But we have 2 company cell phones here that anyone can use: the clinic, Dr. Rob, the admin team, myself. And if we're back here, for example, and it's a new patient consult and the new patient came in a little nervous and then left being super excited, all hyper and ready to get started, you better believe as a TC, I'm going to say, hey, can we do like a new patient testimonial? I'll get you on our YouTube page. You can become YouTube famous. What 7-year-old doesn't want to be YouTube?
Right.
Their parents love it. So then that's when we have that cell phone easily available. I take a video, ask them some questions. It's super candid. It's not anything where we need to do, perfect hair and makeup for. It's them in their element, me just asking them questions. And then within a matter of minutes, I'm able to, with that company cell phone that has the YouTube app on there, able to upload it to YouTube and share it to all our social media sites. We then text the parents a link after that's been edited and say, share with all your friends and family. And then that helps get us that online exposure. So I can tell you most of our phase 1 patients who are very nervous about getting on an expander, even though I tell them like it is back here, I don't really sugarcoat anything, but we still make that appointment exciting and fun to look forward to. But we then say, hey, go on to YouTube. There's probably about 8 different testimonials out there of kids your age that let us videotape them getting that expander on, videotaping them asking or answering our questions. Did that expander hurt? So it helps prepare that new patient on what that upcoming appointment is going to be like. And that is gold for us. Patients love it. The parents love it. They share it. And then the kids feel famous. So I would say those are really good for our office. And that's what gets us a lot of exposure. The TikToks, what's funny is we don't have a marketing person in our office. I do a lot of the videos back here and whip them together real fast. Ray, our office manager, same thing. She'll just gather all the content from whatever the assistants can videotape, our admin team can videotape, and we get that content put together with TikTok and things like that. I'm sure you might know, or viewers out there, a 15-second TikTok can sometimes take an hour to edit. So that's the biggest challenge we're facing, but we are constantly just taking photos with that company cell phone that's readily available and posting it right on to the social media sites. We're on everything but Twitter,
Right.
but everything's
No
right
one's
on
on
that
Twitter.
cell phone. I know. So, but yeah, that's how we are so successful in posting. We don't have the best cameras. We don't have the best lighting. We don't have, hair and makeup getting ready. We find that it's all candid and in the moment. And that's the reputation we have here. Patients come in. Sometimes there's parents that are like, hey, Sarah just did her hair and makeup and got her outfit to the 9s here because she wants to be on TikTok. Can we make this happen? And I'm like, that is the biggest compliment ever. She was getting these butt moving appliances on her teeth, and she came in dressed to the 9s because she wanted to do a TikTok. So that's huge that she knows she can count on us.
Cool.
And I tell all patients when they leave here, hey, next time you want to do a TikTok, bring your friends to an appointment. We encourage patients to use their cell phone. So when they're in their chair getting their attachments done or whatever,
Right.
Snapchat it, tag us. So a lot of the exposure is from patients creating the content and tagging us as well.
Right. That's so cool. So I was actually checking out one of you guys' most recent posts, and it was more of like getting out in the community, and all these girls whipped out their phones, like these young
Oh
girls
yeah. Yes.
whipped
And my
out their
daughter's
phones,
cheerleading.
And what was it? You guys were donating
Yes. So Dr. Rob, we don't just sponsor teams, we go above and beyond it. And
Right.
so my daughter is on a traveling competitive cheerleading team. And I said, here's a list of sponsors, categories you can choose from. If you could do it for my daughter, great. He chose $300 to sponsor, and now his name gets put on the website, logo, t-shirts, all that. But he said, I don't want to do just that. I want to throw him a pizza party. So we had pizza delivered to their practice last Wednesday. I showed up as the mom of my daughter, but also as an Askler representative, and said, hey girls, you want to make a TikTok? As soon as I said that, phew, they all came together, and I'm like, does anyone have cell phones? We need to videotape this. I need you guys to do some homework for me. I mean, as soon as you talk their language, it was saying the word TikTok, they just sat together and were like, yeah, we'll be compliant. We'll do whatever.
Yeah.
And we literally had the coach videotape me, and we did a short little TikTok just me explaining what social media sites we're on and me explaining the pizza party and the why behind it and things like that. And obviously that worked for us. We're already getting calls in and we're trying to track that on how many new patients we got from that community event.
Right. That's super cool. Cause I know like when you ask like who's all gonna get braces, they're like me. So it was the funniest thing.
It was so real. It was so raw. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
I just thought that was the coolest thing because like not only did you guys sponsor it, but you went above and beyond. Kids
Yeah.
love pizza, you know. Then like
I
when
know.
they're talking about that stuff, like it's so genius of you guys to do that.
It is. And we provided a little swag bag that had like chapstick from Escalor Ortho pens. We have, let me reach over. Sorry. We have business cards that have all our social media links on there. They went in that bag. And then those kids are getting picked up by their parents full. They don't need to eat dinner. Parents are like, what'd you get? And then they tell them, Escalor Orthodontics provided pizza party today. We got to follow them. So hopefully
I'm in a TikTok, mom. Look, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what is I know this kind of ties into the patients when they step their first foot into the office. As all the TCs out there, what should the patients expect? How to treat them? Kind of walk us through your steps so they can get that 95% conversion rate.
To be honest, it doesn't happen when they step into the office. It happens when they call the office. So that new patient phone call is where we do a ton of training with the admin team on how to present that phone call. I don't want a new patient calling us and feeling like they're calling the DMV and that we're just collecting the demographics. It's that relationship starts there. And the girls do an awesome job providing options for these new patients, whether they want to come in for an actual appointment, do a smile assessment before they come in to see if they even need treatment. We ask the patient their needs, like, how do you want us to respond to you? Text message, email, phone call, what works best for you? So we're really, feeding into what the patient's wants and needs are. And when they call up their offices, they're just getting the demographics. I've even done little spy calls or mystery calls to other orthos to show my team what a difference we sound like when these patients are calling, because most patients are going on 2.5 consults. So if they're calling all the orthos to set up these appointments, we really want Askler to stand out, and we definitely do. And then at that new patient phone call, the team is doing a great job asking the patients, what kind of treatment does your son Billy want, or you want? Are you thinking braces? Are you thinking clear aligners? And then they go into a little bit more detail on what to expect before they even come in. They tell them, okay, we're going to send you a text of a personalized video of Dr. Rob, introducing himself and thanking you for coming to the office. And then Janelle, our treatment coordinator, is going to send a personalized introduction video as well, really diving into how much insurance coverage you have, what to expect at that new patient consult. And then they're also saying, make sure you follow us on social media. So they're hanging up with that phone call, knowing like, okay, these guys are in social media. I'm going to show my nervous 7-year-old daughter what it looks like to go there. Or I'm going to now do some research as a mom to see what kind of Instagram page they have and things like that. So they're getting, and I say bombarded lightly, but they're getting bombarded with all of this useful information on our office culture and the different products we have here, and also some details on the financials, so they know they can come in designing their own treatment plan and how they want to pay for it. It's all decided by them. So they're knowing that before they come in, which helps prepare the buyer. That's our goal, is to get those same day contracts or same day starts. And if we didn't give them all that information, it would be really hard as a TC for me to do all of that here. So if they weren't getting that at that new patient phone call, I don't know how I would not have a 95% conversion rate if it didn't happen at that new patient phone call. Dr. Rob does a video. It's not extremely personalized or customized to each new patient. It's a video we did of him saying, hey guys, I'm Dr. Rob. Thanks for choosing our office. Janelle's going to be the treatment coordinator that hangs out with you at this new patient consult. If you have any questions, don't worry, we'll answer them all. We look forward to seeing you. They're getting this this sent to them in a text, and it comes right from our YouTube video library. So they get to see, oh yeah, Dr. Rob's not that scary. Oh, this is great. No other doctor office is doing that. And then my video is personalized and tailored just to each patient. So between patients, I am using my cell phone to make these new patient videos. I email them to my work email and forward them to the patient's email. And it's me really going into detail of hey, you already have some x-rays from your dentist, so we just got to take another one, take a bunch of photos. You have $2,000 in insurance coverage. We're going to lessen that. That's going to lessen your out-of-pocket costs. And I go into some minor details about the appointment or what kind of options they were most interested in. So it's a lot more personalized to that patient's appointment, and they come in fully prepared. And that's how we get so many starts.
That's awesome. So really, really the key word is personalization towards.
Yes. Yep. 100%.
That's awesome. So what is one of the biggest key takeaways, whether if it's from a TC that's just started or, a lady that's been in there for like 7 years? Like, obviously you seem so knowledgeable. Obviously you go to all the conferences, you're constantly consuming knowledge. So like, what's one of the biggest key takeaways that you can provide value to them? Like, what would you say to them?
I would say a couple things. A lot of what I do didn't just happen the first week I was a treatment coordinator. I did role play, and I hate that word role play because it sounds cheesy. I would say I practiced a lot. I would come here in on the weekend. So if there's a new TC whose verbiage doesn't sound good in her TC room, or she doesn't feel like she's naturally flowing with everything, come in and practice. Use your own family members, your husband, your boyfriend, your wife, whatever it may be. Bring them in. Use your admin team or clinic team on downtime or off days. Bring them in and just practice going through the records of the appointment, presenting the treatment, explaining the options, things like that, because that's going to get you more comfortable in here. There is a ton of webinars out there. We could list a dozen of them where they can just go back and watch them and learn these tools and learn what makes each office successful. I learned this new patient video by going to the OrthoFi Nexus conference, where Danielle, a TC from Spillane and Reynolds, did that video, and Dr. Rob was in that conference videotaping her up on stage, sent me it and said, we're starting this on Monday. I was like, this is cool. Why didn't we think of this? So I've evolved so much from that video. So anything I recommend or anything I do, you can do it and then make it your own. Not everyone has to say the same script in these new patient videos. And I know a lot of TCs out there see me explain these things on webinars and they're like, no, I'm not comfortable in front of the camera. Then start off small. Maybe just do it to 7-year-old new patients. If you don't like seeing yourself and you're not confident on the camera, I've had TCs who filled in for me, not necessarily TCs, but filled in for the TC role when I'm gone. And I expect them to make this new patient video to help, continue to make Askler grow. And I'm like, use a Snapchat filter. If there's a 7-year-old new patient coming in, take a filter and have, it be goofy, send that to the parent to say, hey, I'm having some fun. Thought I'd introduce, your daughter to myself. And then they have a filter, and it filter, it's not making them pretty. It's making them look goofy, like a rabbit or whatever, right. Things like that. Once you're in disguise, people seem to act more comfortable when they're in disguise, or even have funny props here if you need to make those videos more comfortable. But doing something out of your comfort zone is going to make you grow. And as TCs, you should constantly be thinking about how you're going to grow the office you're working in, but 100%. Also yourself as a TC, and just going on. There's a bunch of treatment coordinator Facebook groups and financial coordinator Facebook groups. Just search. If you need them, email me. I'll give you a whole slew of them. And
what can they reach you at?
My email, my work email. So it's Janelle, JANELLE, period. My last name, Baum, B as in boy, AUM as in Mary, at Askler Ortho. So ASZKLER ortho.com.
Awesome. Super cool. Is there any last little things you want to add?
No, just to continue to educate yourself, read books, encourage your team and your doctor to send you to conferences. That's where you're going to learn a bunch of these things. You're going to network with other treatment coordinators and other doctors, vendors. I've learned so much from them. There's this company coming up that we don't use their product, but they have a webinar. Just because I met with them and exchanged emails, now I'm going to continue to learn. Yeah, their webinar is mainly about their product, but it's also about customer service and, becoming more successful. So why not watch it? So I encourage you guys to do all that. Right
on. Janelle Baum, everyone. Thank you so much for having us on, or having you on.
Yeah, this is my show now, Tyler. Could you move over? Just kidding. No, it's a pleasure being here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Janelle.
Oh, you're so welcome.